In our previous video, we took a look at how to use the properties of logarithms to expand a logarithmic expression. We can do the exact reverse and use those properties to condense a logarithmic expression. And so basically what I tell people is we're going to play the film in reverse. So we're going to do the exact opposite of what we just did in the previous video. So here's the first thing that I look for. I have this long logarithm. I'm going to look for any coefficients that I have. Thinking about playing the movie backwards, we realize that those coefficients really were exponents before I had moved them. So I'm going to take any coefficients and replace them and move them to become exponents. Next up, when I'm condensing, I'm allowed to write the word logarithm once, or the word log, once and only once for each problem. As soon as you write the word log more than once, you've screwed it up. So I'm allowed to do it once. This time it's log base 10, so we don't even need to include the 10 if we don't want to. So I write the word log once, and then after that I'm going to draw in a fraction line. I don't put the log in the fraction, I'm doing the log of a fraction, so make sure log does not appear in the numerator or denominator. And then using my rule of thumb, if you watched the last video, anything that's positive is going to be in the top, the numerator of that fraction. So the 9 is going to be in the numerator. 2 to the third is also a positive piece, so that's going to be in the numerator. And then this 3 is negative, so that's going to end up in the denominator. Remember, anything that was being subtracted sort of crunched back together into a division problem. Now, one thing to be very careful of is what sign goes between the 9 and the 2 in the numerator. Remember, this was an addition problem, so playing the movie backwards, that crunches together into a multiplication problem. I see a lot of people put a plus sign there on accident. Okay, so there's my condensed logarithm, but let's go ahead and do some simplifying in this problem. So 2 to the third is 8, and 9 times 8 gets me 72 for the numerator divided by 3. Finally, I'll just do 72 divided by 3 and come up with 24. Now, people want to tell me the answer is 24, but of course it's not. It's the log base 10 of 24. So there's my condensed logarithm with log written just one time to condense it. Okay? Let's take a look at a couple more examples. If you think you've got it, maybe you want to pause the video and try these on your own. Otherwise, I'll talk you through these examples as well. So the way I start is I look for any coefficients. Any coefficients are going to swing backwards and become exponents on that piece. Okay, next up I write the word log, and in this case natural log, one time, and then I draw a fraction line after it. You may end up with nothing in the bottom, which would be fine. You could just erase the fraction line. Or you may end up with nothing in the top, in which case you'd have to put a 1 up there. You can't have something in the bottom of a fraction with nothing in the top. Alright, then I figure out where my pieces go depending on what signs they have. This first piece is positive, so that 4 is going to be in the numerator. The next piece is also positive, so 3 to the third is also in the numerator. And recall those that addition problem crunches back together into a multiplication problem. And then finally that 12 is negative, so that's going to end up in the denominator. Okay? From there I do my normal simplifying stuff like I'd always do. So exponents first, 3 to the third is 27, and 4 times 27 is 108. 108 divided by 12 gets me 9. Remember, though, the answer is not 9. It's the natural log of 9. Okay, and one more example to take a look at in this video. So once again, look for any coefficients and let's swing those backwards to become exponents. So this is going to become x to the 1/2 power. I'll get rid of those. And then 2 is going to swing back here to become y to the 2nd power, using my properties in reverse. And then one more time, log gets written down once, log base 7. Anything positive is in the numerator. This first piece, this was positive, so x to the 1/2 will be in the numerator. And the second piece was being subtracted, so that'll crunch back or condense back into a division problem, so y squared is in the denominator. Now, that answer is a-okay with me. However, sometimes, I think if you check the answers in class, I think a lot of times they go and take that x to the 1/2, and like we talked about in the last video, they'll rewrite it as the square root of x. It's the same thing, so I really don't care which answer you give. Both of those are the same exact thing.